Hi everybody. A very good morning to all of you. I am Deepa Govind. I am a homepreneur since 2008. And to give a short introduction about as to who I am and how I came to become a homepreneur, I started off as a blogger out of pure interest because I had too much time on my hands, and writing is something that kept me occupied during this time. And blogging extensively got me a couple of content writing gigs. And during the course of my blogging career, I had a chance to research on several topics. And during one of such research in development platform called as Zoho, and then I transitioned into an app developer. And here I am, let's say 10 plus years later, I am also a mentor to aspiring work from home professionals, especially women who are on a career break, who has been into the corporate sector and have taken a very decisive action, a very intentional decision as to take a break from a full-time career, but would still like to keep in touch with their work mode and the intellect's high and the faculties running. I help them to understand their strengths that they can tap on when it comes to picking up a work from home career. So that's pretty much about me. And the whole point of having today's expert live chat is also about niching down and how niching is what makes a career for somebody who's aspiring to work from home. So before we go on to how to niche and what to niche onto, let's just figure out what exactly is niching all about. Now, on a more simpler terms, niching is about narrowing down the best of the possibilities that can give you the maximum opportunities. Now, let me put it this way. Like it or not, we are born women. We like it or not, some of us love to cook and some of us love to eat, and some of us love to cook and eat. Now, how would you plan a menu? You start off by planning it as a veg menu or a non-veg menu. Then you slowly narrow it down to each dish that you're going to prepare for that particular occasion. And once the dishes are narrowed down, you go on sourcing the ingredients. Niching works exactly like that. So niching is all about figuring out what you want to do at a broader sense and then slowly narrowing it down one notch at a time so that you can figure it out as to where exactly lies your maximum capabilities, the maximum strengths that can give you the best opportunities that allow you to work from home. I will take an example. So there are many type of content writers, right? People write about beauty, people write about fashion, people write about academics, people write research papers, people write about having gone to a travel and come back. Now, each of this is a very specific niche. I am not sure how many of you know it. There are websites that pay exclusively for travel writing. There are websites that pay exclusively for writing or reviewing research material. So this is what niching is all about. So once you niche down, you know where your target audience are. And the minute you realize your target audience, you also know how to approach them with your strength, because your strength translates into your niche. Your niche is your saleable skill, and your saleable skill is what is going to get the client some results on the pain points that they are experiencing. So that is why niching is very, very important. Once you're able to niche down your strength, once you're able to narrow it, nail it, like this is my strength. Deepa does app development in Zoho. Now that's her strength. Um, like Sushmita does graphic designing for print brochures. That is her strength. She might be able to do it for website designing. She might be able to do it for logo designing. It's not that she's not able to, but her maximum strength lies in designing for print material. Now that's her strength. Now should Sushmita focus on these kind of opportunities, she has a 100% rate of conversion of grabbing a project. We have, let's say, Nikita, who writes beautifully, but due to some personal reasons, she's been traveling all around and she's unable to settle down for a certain level of a certain stability that's required for any kind of a job. So for her, travel writing would be a very apt niche. She loves to write. She's extensively traveling for personal reasons, for professional reasons. That's irrelevant to somebody. So you go on, and she goes on to document her travel. Now, uh, her ideal approach would be to approach websites that advocate travel. It could be travel agencies, it could be travel planners, and give them account of her travel. Now that's her niche. So she now becomes an authority on travel-based writing. So that's how you niche down, and that's also how you monetize your niche. Uh, for those, and I also see that some of our fellow members have asked some questions in our Homepreneur group. So I have Marty here. She says that I have 7 years experience in software testing with PCS. Okay. Madhuri, your core strength appears to be on testing. Now, I'm not very much aware with the different processes that goes into testing, but I fairly understand that any software testing falls into a certain set of steps, a cycle. As much as there are product development cycle, I believe there is going to be a testing cycle that every software goes through. So your niche would be to standardize these cycles and approach companies that are working as product-based businesses. So your approach to them as a tester, saying that as a product company, uh, these tests would ensure that your product is optimized for the best use of the audience. This niches down your skill, this narrows down your expertise in that particular matter, and your forthcoming nature of being proactive onto the job that is yet to be discussed makes you a welcome team member into the team. You can probably try that. There are a couple of leads on LinkedIn which you can try and test it out. Yasmin, there are plenty of work from home jobs. There is no shortage of work from home jobs. There are so many, starting from data entry to content writing to graphic designing to app development to web applications to mobile apps, Android apps, iOS apps, to running your own tuition center at home, become a virtual teacher, let's say preparing PPT decks. There are people whose sole job is to prepare PowerPoint decks. They collect materials from the client, simple company material. Let's say a company is getting onto a seminar and they give one huge chunk of 20 or 12 or 12 to 18 pages of Word document. Now the job of our professional is to create PPT decks out of this particular document that they can use on the seminar. Now everybody knows PowerPoint, everybody can read and understand the concept that's shared to us on a Word document. You just have to put two and two together into a nice PPT presentation. So work from home job is something that you make out to be. It's not something that is on the shelf for you to take it out. So be watchful of the many posts that you see, many requests that you see on social media, and try to read in between the lines where there is an option for you to interact with the client at hand, the gentleman or the lady, and get them to reveal their requirements to you. Hope that helps answer your question there. Preeti, the first opportunity that I would recommend to look for a work from home option after a career break is to get back in touch with your previous employers. Uh, do not carry the assumption that they would welcome you with open hands. No, because they are all used to having a full-time associate at the desk, and having somebody in absentia is not that every company would know how to handle. So try to look at the smaller pockets where you can fill in. You might not be able to contribute as much as a full-time employee to the company, but you are nevertheless have been a previous employee. You understand the company culture. You understand the nature of the work the company does. The company in turn also understands your strengths, your role when you were a full-time employee. So try to fill in the pockets. Filling the pockets can be done remotely because everything else is taken care of others in the team who are at the company premises. Try to fill in little pockets here and there. Uh, you become valuable over time, and then you will begin to see a profile emerge for you on that particular project or on that particular team that you are going to work on. The second level of connecting with the right opportunity would be to connect with peers who are already in the corporate sector, to connect with new members who are already working from home and see how they are. Try to understand from them what is their niche, how are they targeting their niche. Let's say, for example, a content writer would lack a graphic designer to skills to put up a nice poster of whatever content that she's delivering. So for her, she will need somebody who is good with graphics. A graphic designer can fill in that void. So when you're trying to work from home, try to pick a void and fill the void. Once you start filling the void, one void at a time, you will find that more work from home opportunities emerge for you. It's a slow process, it's an evolving process, it's not something that happens right away. Hope that answers your curiosity. So Pavitra, I understand that you have registered for multiple freelancing sites and you haven't received a call after submitting proposals. Now, the thing with freelancing sites is there are many such freelancers uh, competing for the same job. So our best bet would be what is going to make Pavitra's application stand out. Now, uh, when connecting with a client on a freelance platform where there are hordes of other freelancers trying to compete for the same job, there are three distinct aspects that clients look for. One is when we give a very generic cover letter says, I am interested, please let me know. That's the first thing that the clients ignore. They The point of having a freelancer or an expert is to make sure that she is an expert in the field and she knows exactly what to do, where to do. Now, I believe that you will certainly require additional information about the project before you can commit yourself. But just by saying the words, give me additional details, is a big no-no to any client. So try and see if with the limited amount of information that you have on the freelance project, try putting in intelligence questions forward. Start off with asking your questions. Now, questions have always been intriguing. It has a very psychological effect on anyone who is reading it. So start by asking intelligent, intriguing questions to the client about his project, about the nature of work that he's requesting, and close off your cover letter with information about your expertise. It could be, if the site allows, I would say, it could be links to the work that you have previously done. Now, when it comes to freelancing site, all freelancing sites they give you a dedicated profile section. Make sure that you have your profile section done and updated to the last very T. Do spell checks, upload any documents, upload any files, upload any audios or videos that is relevant to the nature of work that you're doing, and you can have your client direct your email cover letter at the end to your profile saying that please look into my profile where I have detailed all my best work ahead for you to review. So that way it will pique the attention of the client, and that could give you an additional advantage over several others who are simply replying, I am interested, give me more details. So try to initiate a conversation and end your covering letter with a question that requires a response from the client. Questions are a great way of engaging people. I'm sure you should be able to get your next interview call by that time. Pavitra, how can I balance household things, childcare and working from home simultaneously? No, you cannot balance. You are always on your toes. When you balance one, something goes off balance, then you balance the other, and something else goes off balance. So in and all, you are always twirling 360 degrees. Let's admit it. It just does not happen. We are not robots. We are not octopuses where we stand on four legs and have other four things in the rest of the arms. So the trick here is how much of things can you delegate? Some of the household things you can delegate, uh, assuming that the family circumstances and the financial circumstances are helpful enough. Delegate a couple of household duties, delegate a couple of childcare duties, and pick your golden hour for work. If at all you're looking for balance of any form, when you're looking for balance of any form when working from home, try to nail your own golden hour to work. It could be early morning hours, it could be late evening hours, it could be mid-afternoon hours. That's totally up to you. Make sure that you have a reasonable chunk of golden hours. Now, I have had friends who work early in the mornings, like me. Like she would work from 3 in the morning till 3 to 5 in the morning, and then she would blissfully sleep off between 11 and 2 because she's done with the cooking, she's done with the household chores, and because she's waking up so early, she takes a mid-morning nap. And then she says her second set of golden hours comes late in the afternoon, let's say from 3 to 6. And she does up a little bit of light work, like updating Facebook or connecting with clients on social media late in the evening post dinner. So the minute you're able to figure out your golden hour to work, everything will fall into place. Now it will take some time. Give yourself at least a month's time to understand how your routine and how your household routine and your work routine are going to fit in place. You need to be very watchful. You need to be very aware of it. Try not to react during these times because things can get really crazy. Your maid might not come. You might be having a work that requires a delivery, and the child falls in sick. So there are going to be a lot of ups and downs, but make sure that you maintain the tone of your voice, you maintain the pace of your work, and try to observe yourself during this period and figure out your golden hour basically. Once you're done with that, everything else will fall in place. Um, Sri Lakshmi, I can see your concern. You would want to know how to choose the right company to work from home option, how to select a project, and what are the criteria we need to discuss with a recruiter for a home-based job. Now, let me take it one by one. So, when it comes to work from home, there are companies that directly connect with you where you are talking to the decision maker, where you are not an employee, you will not be an employee, you will be a consultant working on a project. Now, the only terms that needs to be discussed apart from the actual scope of work would be the payment terms and the delivery terms, like what are the payment and how you will be getting paid, and freezing on the scope of work and things like that. Now there is another model of work from home where you have these virtual staffing agencies. These virtual staffers, or virtual for the lack of any other word, I'm calling them virtual companies. Now, these companies, they source work from clients, and then they branch it out to other, like subcontract it out to other members working from home. So you are not directly in connection with the client. You are actually handing over your work to a middleman, and this middleman is taking the work back to the client. Now here you need to be very careful about your payment terms and delivery terms. I would advise that be very upfront about how much, about the amount of remuneration and the duration of payment. Would you like to have your payment upfront before you deliver your job, or once you deliver your job, what is the guarantee that this particular middleman is going to pay you for the work that you have put in? Because remember, the job you're doing is not for the recruiter, it is for somebody else. The recruiter is not going to use the effort that you have put in. He is going to hand it over to somebody. So it's a discussion in itself. There are a lot of ifs and buts and flags and no codes to watch out for. Uh, we should be taking it up for another day. So the bottom line being, you need to have clarity on the scope of work that you're going to deliver, when you're going to deliver, what you're going to deliver, and how you're going to get paid. Like, are you going to get paid 100% upfront? Are you going to get paid on a milestone basis? Like, let's say that you have to, the project demands that you deliver five content or five blog posts, like 500 words each. So one way to handle this would be you deliver all five and you collect the money for all five. Or you say, I give you one post and you pay me for that. I give you the next post, you pay me for that. Or you can say, okay, you give me for 3 articles and I will deliver 5 articles and you can pay the 2 cents later. So this is what you need to discuss, or at least comprehend in yourself before putting it across to your recruiter. Hope that helps. Yes, yes, yeah. There are Homepreneur forums where you can brainstorm your Homepreneur ideas. The link is available on my profile, and I will also put it up here. There's a Facebook group called Homepreneur Deepa. So we have a very vibrant community, and you should be able to find willing participants to discuss your ideas there. So, Karthiki, nice name. When I apply for work from home role, how do I pitch my work experience on monetary terms, especially if I'm returning to work after the never pitch your experience against monetary terms. Pitch your experience, convey your monetary terms. Keep those two separate. Never say that because I have 10 years of experience, I believe my pay should be this. No, I have 10 years of experience, I can do this job for you to this level of perfection, and for this particular activity, I would request that a payment be made against for let's say so much of amount. So I'm a little curious about how many of you have considered niching down on your skills. I know most of you are on a career break. Instead of generically looking for work from home options, what has been your mm, what's your thought on niching things down? To put it up as well, because today's Facebook Live is entirely about niching things down. This year, since working from home means a lot of commitment from my end as well as from the employer end. How to prepare family for a work from home mom, sister, daughter, or a daughter-in-law? The trick is it's never a prepared script. It is never a prepared script. You just have to live the day as it goes along. So, as I said earlier, once you figure out your golden hour, irrespective of you have a paid project or not, uh, keep working on the skills that you are honing. Keep working on your way to acquire a project that allows you to work from home. Uh, Keep reading, keep communicating with prospective employers, keep communicating with the prospective associates. watch out forums, keep yourself updated. Just keep reading and reading and reading more. And if you have a flair for writing, don't shy away. Just write it up. You can write on LinkedIn, you can write on Medium. WordPress is giving away free blogs that does not require much of web design and web development capabilities. You just have to get yourself a login and write away. Now, writing is a great way to establish your niche. It is a great way to uh, get the word out onto the media, saying that okay, Divya is an expert in this matter. So content, Google reads content. It generates, it gives you a lot of SEO. So it gives you a lot of advantage over others who don't write. Now, as I said, Divya, there is no, if family cannot be prepared for a work from home professional. They adjust to the member uh, during the initial days, and then slowly they realize the routine, and once that stage is passed, they begin to respect your time. So it's a journey. It's much like motherhood. You you can read as many books on parenting. You can read as many books on childcare, but none of them will come handy when your child goes throws a tantrum at you. So it's much like that. So it's a gradual process. It's an eventual journey. Allow your family to adjust to your new routine. The you need to have a real cool head so as to not to raise your voice, so as to not to show your irritability onto them, because they are having a hard time adjusting as well, as much as you are having a hard time trying to figure out things in your head and physically adjusting it as well. The family is having a hard time adjusting to your absence as well. Give them some time. They will learn. It's a learned response. It's not something that you can hand flyers and sit with them for a lunch and tell them that this is going to what it is going to be and expect them to behave that way. It doesn't work that way. Getting a work from home job is tough enough, but when we get one, the pay is being offered is very less in comparison with the people who go to office to work. How do you negotiate pay for work from home jobs? So yes, I totally hear you. The pay is definitely less for somebody who is working exclusively from home against somebody who is working in the office, for the very obvious reason that the person is available for a continuous 8 to 10 hours of the time, and just for the very same reason that the person is on premise, the amount of the company perceives that the amount of work or rather the time put in, effort put in is more as compared to the freelance work from home professional. So try not to expect, if you're looking for a salary based job, then this would not be a very good choice for you, because remote employees are they are tend to be paid less compared to work from compared to on-premise employees. Now, work from home, see, we don't call, when you're an employee, you are called a remote employee. That means you're on a payroll of a company. That means that you have a designated time that you are required online. You have a definite set of system that you have to follow, like report or be online at this time, pick up call on this time. There's no, it's just not possible to deviate away from that routine. Mm. Now, when it comes to a professional working from home, as I said, these are professionals working from home. You charge for the work that you deliver. You don't charge for the time that you put in. You can deliver a work in 2 hours. You can deliver the work in 2 days. It is immaterial. The amount of remuneration that you command is for the work, and it is not for your time. So as I said earlier, if Ritu is a graphic expert, she can design a 4-page flyer in, let's say, a flat 2 hours time. She is going to charge close to 35K. She is very much entitled to do that because she has spent all the previous years learning and understanding how it works, and she now has figured out her optimum way to come up with a final product in a matter of 2 hours. Now there is another person, let's say, in our community. Like Deepa, she barely understands graphic designing. She only dabbles a little bit with Photoshop to do a little bit of touch up and adding a frame. Now, if Deepa was to design a 5-page flyer, she will take more than, let's say, a week. Now, she can very well demand a 35K for it. But is she going to be, is her work is going to be in par with it too? No, because she's not trained in that particular niche. Is somebody going to pay her for pay? I mean, somebody would say, okay, I find so many, cons in Deepa's design, whereas I find so many pros in Ritu's design, so I'll go with her. So the remuneration is for the work that you deliver. It is never for the time and effort that you put in. So when you are negotiating your pay, you negotiate for the deliverables. Do not try to pitch it against your experience. Do not try to pitch it against your place of work. And I know of people who demand rush hour fees. If something is to be delivered in 24 hours, the pricing goes as much as 5 times. Hmm? There are people who do that. Sheila asks, I have always wanted to work from home, but I feel I might end up spending less time working and spending my day completing all the daily chores. And how do I balance both? Sheila, this is the easy part. You can actually, so once you get your mind to believe that you are going to sit on your computer working between say 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., then your conscious mind automatically adjusts so that you will start giving suggestions to yourself that I have to finish this by 9, I have to finish that by 9:30, I have to finish something else by 10, and by 10 you will be pleasantly surprised that there will be nothing else to be that you can do at that time. So it's not rocket science. You can try it for a couple of days. You will see that it actually works. It's been a very nice session having to see the questions coming in live on the Jobs for Her Homepreneur groups. So keep sending your questions, and I will be responding to them a little while later on the group itself. And never forget that if you do not niche down, then and if you're going to be very generic, then you will be considered as a generic resource. So somebody suggested that there is a very old sailor living in the outskirts, and given his experience, he should know what is the problem with the ship. So because this very elderly gentleman, he came down to the ship's engine room. He listened to the humming, the rumbling sound, and all he did was he took out his hammer. He he banged a couple of nuts and bolts here and there. So all he did was in 5 to 10 minutes, he just banged a couple of bolts here and there, and the engine started running again. Now he went back home, and he gave a bill to the authority of $1,000. Now people can be very tricky. When they wanted his assistance, when they wanted his experience, they got him to the engine room to help them out. Now their problem is resolved, but they're not willing to pay the remuneration that is due to him. So they wanted to play a joke on the old man, and they responded with, give us an itemized bill, because they assumed that and just for banging a couple of nuts, who in the same mind will pay $1,000? So that's when the gentleman came back with an itemized bill saying that banging the nuts $1, knowing where to bang and how long to bang is $999. So reach a level that level of niching down where you can claim the expertise that you are an expert at. Once you have done that, you have the authority to claim the remuneration that is due to it. So do not forget, try to explore your niche, try to explore multiple niches. It could be, there is no rule to bind you by any niche. So get to your niche, nail it down, and be an expert at what you are, and claim the remuneration that is very good. Bye bye.